Hello students, welcome to Social Science class. Today let us start another lesson of history, that is lesson number 4, Ancient Civilization of the World. In this lesson, you have to learn the great civilizations of the world, Egypt, Mesopotamia and China, in that art, architecture and lifestyle of the different civilization. Now let us see that introduction part. Many other civilizations flourished in various parts of the world at the time of Indus Valley civilization. We can see the Egyptian civilization, Mesopotamian civilization and Chinese civilization in Asia and Africa. Asia and African continent, you can see the Egyptian civilization, Mesopotamian civilization and Chinese civilization. First, let us see about Egyptian civilization. Generally, all civilizations have originated in the river plains. The Egyptian civilization could take birth due to the presence of the river Nile. The relics obtained here proclaim that grandeur of the Egypt. Huge pyramids, sculpture, temples and the inscriptions in these temples tell us a lot about the Egyptian culture and the history. Now, contribution of Egyptians. What are the contributions of the Egyptians to the Egyptian civilization to the world? The Egyptians were expert farmers and they knew a lot about the irrigation facility, and they had built so many temples, and they invented the calendar, which has helped us to measure time. These are the invention and the contribution of the Egyptian civilization. Next one important thing is that hieroglyphics. More than anything, they had mastered the art of writing. They made one art of writing, and it was a symbolic language. They did not use any alphabets, only symbolic language they used, like picture and all. And it consists of small drawings and has been called as hieroglyphic. Hieroglyphics means the meaning is sacred writing. What is the writing form of the Egyptian civilization is hieroglyphics. Next, about the Nile Valley. Every rainy season, the Nile River would transform the Nile Valley into a huge lake. After the rainy season, this Nile River will be changing into a huge lake. After the valley dried up in summer, a fertile layer of clay soil would form in the grazing field and neighboring agricultural land, it creating a fertile land area, this Nile River. The work that would need the labors of hundreds of people was being done by the kind of river all alone, because so many hundreds of people's work will be done by the river alone. Means that this river is making that area fertile land. The fertile land provided food for the population of the first town in the area. Not all agriculture regions were in that valley, hence through small canals and wells they were responsible for the development of complex system of irrigation throughout the land. And from this river system only they made the canal system and to give the irrigation facility, water facility for other land areas also. The prosperous, wealthy Egyptian peasants and citizens during their leisure engaged themselves in the creation of artistic works. Leisure means free time. They engaged in artistic works, and the role of the priest was to explain the nature and to explain the nature. The priests were the scholars and shoulders the responsibility of protecting written documents. Priest means who is working in the temple and that activities are all doing, they are known as priests, and they have the responsibility to protecting the documents also. And they believed, the Egyptian people, they believed in life after death, means rebirth, and they believed that man had to give an account of his deeds on earth to Osiris, the most powerful god of life and death. The priest considered that life on earth was temporary and was needed only to prepare for the next life. And the priest, they considered that the life on the earth was very temporary, so they have to prepare for the next life. Thus, the whole of the Nile Valley was reserved for the dead, and the dead body would be smeared with the various chemicals and wrapped with a thin cloth. And after the death of a person, the dead body will be covered with the various chemicals and they will wrap it with a thin cloth. The entire body was in this way preserved. Like this, they preserve the dead body. The body protected, this was called as mummy. In this way, they are protecting the body, that is known as mummy. It would be kept in a specially designed coffin. That picture you can see that coffin, some decorated coffin is there. Inside that coffin they are keeping all those dead bodies. The grave was considered as the true place for an Egyptian, and hence all around the dead body items needed for daily use and small dolls of a cook and barber would be kept to fulfill all future. Means everything, whatever a person need, like all the items they will keep with that dead body, and even they will make a doll of a cook and a barber also with that coffin. Inside the coffin they will keep everything. In the beginning, graves were created by carving into the rocks in the hills, and as the Egyptian moved north, they had to construct grave in the desert itself. And first they constructed graves by carving into the rocks of the hills. Inside the rocks they kept the dead bodies, but afterwards they moved to north and they had to construct graves in the desert area. There is no hill area, so desert area it was, so they wanted to construct there. And tall towers were built on these graves using huge blocks of stone in order to protect the eternal sleep of the dead. Kings and wealthy people were competed to build taller and taller towers, and the Greeks called these structures pyramid. The kings of Egypt were called as pharaohs. Pharaohs means a person who lives in a palatial house. Palatial house means a luxurious house or a palace. The peasants who had accepted the rule of powerful Osiris now accepted the rule of pharaohs too. First they believed in Osiris is the powerful god, like that. Afterwards they started to accept the rule of the pharaohs also. After the independent prosperous life of 20th centuries, Egypt was ruled by an Arabian shepherd tribe called Hyksos. They attacked and after defeating that Egyptian people, and they ruled for 500 years. They looted the wealth of the natives and hence did not become popular. They looted everything, means that they smuggled everything from the native people, but they not became popular. The Jews who came wandering through the desert in search of the shelter, they were hated, these people of Egypt. By cooperating with the foreign rule, the Jews even assisted them in collecting taxes and administration. They also joined with them and they started to rule that area. In 1700 BC, the people of the Thebes rose in revolt against the foreigners, and one other tribe is the Thebes, and they started to fight with these Jewish people. After a prolonged conflict, they succeeded in driving Hyksos out of their country. Egypt became free once again. After thousands of years, it came under the rule of Sardanapalus of Assyria. And the Persian emperor Cambyses occupied Egypt in 6th century. In 6th century, Persian emperor Cambyses, he started to control the Egyptian area. The Alexander occupied Persia in the 4th century BC. Egypt became a province of Macedonia. Alexander, he occupied Persia. At that time, this Alexander this Egypt became the province of Macedonia. One of Alexander's military general declared himself the king of Egypt. Then the Alexander's one military general was there. He came to Egypt and he declared the Egypt, he is the king of the Egypt, and established the dynasty of the Ptolemy. He founded the city of Alexandria. He made a city, that city name was Alexandria because he was the military general of Alexander. At last came the Romans in 39 BC. The last Egyptian queen, Cleopatra, tried her best to save her country. The last Egyptian queen was Cleopatra. She was a very beautiful queen and she tried best to save her country. It was said that Romans feared her beauty more than her troops. Roman people feared, means after that Alexandria, Atlas, who came there? Romans came there and they started to control that Egyptian region, and the Egyptian queen Cleopatra was there and she was very beautiful and she tried best to save her country. But it was, according to the historians, they are saying that Romans feared her beauty more than the troops. They feared her beauty more than the troops, means army of the Cleopatra. Twice she was successful in her attack upon her hearts of the Roman conquerors. And 2 times she attracted the hearts of the Roman conquerors. However, in 30 BC, Caesar's successor, his son-in-law, Julius Caesar's successor and his son-in-law, Augustus, did not succumb to her beauty like his father-in-law. But he is not attracted towards his beauty like his father-in-law, but defeated her army, though he spared her life. When he planned to carry her away along with the other spoils of the battle, Cleopatra consumed poison and ended her life. He defeated that region and he wanted to take her with the other spoils of the battle, but she consumed the poison and ended her life. From then onwards, Egypt became the province of Rome. Next one is Mesopotamian civilization. Mesopotamia is an area that lies in the valley between the 2 rivers. Many of the places described in the Old Testament, that is book used by Christians, and you can see this reference of these places. The land which inspires away and fascinated in is called as land between the river of Mesopotamia by the Greek. In this way, we can say that Mesopotamia means the land between 2 rivers. And the land between 2 rivers means it is between Euphrates and Tigris. Had made the best Asian barren land very fertile, these rivers. Next one is the central area of the civilization was the southern part of the valley between the Euphrates and Tigris rivers, and this central area of the civilization is in the southern part of the valley between the Euphrates and Tigris river, and from olden times this area had been referred as the Babylonia. The northern part of the Babylonia was called as Akkad and the southern part is known as Sumer. The northern part of Mesopotamia was known as Assyria. The Sumerians had entered the Mesopotamia in 4000 BC. And before that, let us see the history of the Mesopotamia. History of Mesopotamia is a story of endless hatred and conflict. The Sumerians of the hilly tribe from the north were the first to arrive in the Mesopotamian region, and they who used to worship their gods on the top of the hills after coming to the plains. They built artificial hills and established their place of the worship there. First, they were in the hilly tribe. From the hilly area they came and they used to worship the gods on the top of the hills. When they came to the Mesopotamian region, they started to make artificial hills to establish their place of worship there, and these were called as ziggurat. And like these temples, they are known as ziggurat. They did not know how to build stairs and therefore surrounded them with the sloping galleries. They don't know how to construct steps. The Jews call these towers of Babel. And the Sumerians had entered Mesopotamia in 4000 BC. Later they were overpowered by the Akkadians. First the Sumerians came. They attacked by Akkadians, one of the tribe of the Arabian desert. And these are known as Semites. After 1000 years, these Akkadians came to be ruled over by Amorites. After Akkadians, Amorites ruled. The most famous king of the Amorites was Hammurabi, and he built a fabulous palace for himself in Babylonia. He framed the courts of justice and made Babylonia to be considered the best administrated kingdom in the whole of the old world. He framed courts of justice, some law he made it. The Hittites who came later occupied the valley and destroyed all that they could not carry away. And after this Hammurabi's rule, Hittites, that is another tribe, came there and they destroyed everything, and which one they cannot carry away. These Hittites were defeated by Assyrians, who were followers of Asura, the desert god. And next Assyrians came there. The Assyrians occupied the whole of West Asia and Egypt till 7th century BC and collected tax from all the people there. Another Semitic tribe, the Chaldeans, re-established Babylonia in the 7th century and developed it into the prominent capital of that time. And Nebuchadnezzar was the greatest king among them. Afterwards Chaldeans came, and in that Chaldeans the important king was Nebuchadnezzar. He was the greatest king and he encouraged the study of science. But the Chaldeans came under the attack of Persians in 6th century. Afterwards these Chaldeans were attacked by Persians. 200 years later, Alexander transformed this place of the Semitic people into a Greek province. Afterwards it's become as a Greek province. After the rulers of the Roman and Turks who followed Alexander, this civilization declined and turned into wilderness. And after this civilization declined. With this, today's class I am going to conclude, and next class we will discuss about another civilization, that is Chinese civilization. I hope you all are understood. Thank you, students.